Hello YouTube world, this is Les Williams. This is my first video and it's for the Alpicool C15, I believe is what I ended up getting, and it's a little compressor fridge. I can't remember, a couple $100 or whatever. Really low power draw. This is the way to go apparently, but the problem is it's kind of dumb at the same time. It has a compressor that cools down the ice box, and then there's a thermocouple that knows when the ice box is cool, and all it's really knowing is when the ice box is cool. But whatever you have inside the ice box is going to take a while to get cool because it's just stagnant air in there, and it's relying on physical contact of the jars to the sides of the inside of the case, so that it's going to slowly exchange the heat between the walls of the case inside and your ice cream or whatever inside, and then as those equalize, it'll cool off the case. The controller will know it, it'll turn the compressor back on, cool the case off again. So what you're really left with is a really long time to stabilize temperature, and that's, I guess, what everybody's complaining about, because then what happens? And you're opening it up all the time, it's not cold enough, you cool it off, and then it finally gets there, but then it turns into a block of ice, and it's got what they call the runaway mode. I don't know all the details to all this kind of stuff. I just know that it really comes down to convection versus conduction. This thing is relying on conduction heating, or negative heating. It's pulling the heat out of it conductively. It's not doing it through convection, which is actually having some air molecules helping that exchange system. So a nice way to solve that problem is to go ahead and fix it, but you're going to void your warranty. We'll talk a little bit about how inaccurate it is in a little bit, and again, that has to do with the fact that, well, it doesn't anyway, I don't know. Moving on, we'll talk about that. Here's what I've done. It gets 12 volts coming in. I took it apart. There's 3 screws on the bottom, 2 deep screws in here, and then you'll have to take a butter knife or something, carefully pop that off, and there's 2 more screws underneath here, and pop that out. There's 2 little shelves that these screws are screwed into, that when you're all done and you screw this back together, you don't want to pinch any wires in there. Here's the deal. Got 12 volt coming into this distribution block that runs the compressor and all that kind of good stuff. The same spot, it steals 12 volts and comes up to feed this. So I went ahead and stole positive negative from those 2 wires as well. Brought my positive to an inline fuse. This is only about a 2 amp fuse. I run it to a switch, and then I run it to this output. I went and bought this variable LED dimmer switch. Went and got me some strain reliefs. Drilled a hole. There's foam in this thing, so you gotta know what you're doing and where you're going. And then basically install this little computer fan inside here. And what that's going to do is go ahead and circulate the air in here. It's going to come out over here, got this little fuse shield to kind of deflect it, sucks in air, blows it out. It's just going to keep some air circulated in here. That's going to help to pull that heat a little bit faster. You'll void your warranty, I'm sure, but what do? Now let's go to the temperature compensation stuff. So turn it off, turn it on, or just hold this button for a second. E1, E1, E2, oops, E1, E2, E3. So it doesn't stay in these menus very long. But you got 9 of them. E1 is apparently the lowest temp setting point. And the factory has this at negative 20. So apparently you can't turn it down to negative 20. And you could tell it, I want to go to negative 40. I'll just leave it at the factory. E2 is the highest you could ever set it. Positive 20. Apparently you can go all the way up to 40. I don't know. E3, this has to do with the temperature return setting. I don't know what that means. So it says the factory is 3 degrees. I'll just leave it there. E4. Oops. This is soft start, 0 to 10 minutes. The factory is supposed to be 2 minutes. E5. This is a toggle, Fahrenheit and Celsius. This is what everybody seems to want. You can go between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Now, I'm just going to keep it at Celsius for now because everything is factory Celsius. E6, E7, and E8. And I don't know what E9 is. I don't know what E9 is. It's not discussed. Okay. So E6, E7, and E8 are temperature compensation ranges that have to do with what it's displaying. Now, the little factory piece of paper that I saw on somebody else's video said that the display is the temperature perceived plus a compensation offset equals the temperature display. So it obviously thinks it's 0 degrees in here now, and it's like -1. So that's not bad, I guess. Yeah. So it's saying that E6 is for if that temperature offset is within 7 degrees. E7 is with the if that temperature offset is between 7 and 12 degrees. And E8 is if it's greater than 13. That's what I'm gathering. So let's see what I got. Oops. So I've got it at, see, 5 degrees. I've added 5 degrees because it was wrong. Let's go ahead and show you. Okay, I'm going to put it at 0, E7, should already be a 0, E8, should already be a 0, E9, should already be a 0. Okay, turn it on. Look, it thinks it's -5, it's only maybe -1. So, it's 4 degrees off. So, I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to add, I'm going to add 5 because, you know, what do you do? Added 5, turn it on. See, now it thinks it's 1 degree Celsius and it's actually -1. So let's go change that again. And let's go ahead and minus that. Okay, now it thinks it's 0. It's really almost -1. So apparently. Okay. Okay, so now it thinks it's -1. And it's around -1. Let's see, I'll just turn it down, make sure it comes on. Yeah. See, so it's kind of flaky. I'm not sure what to say about that. But I do know this. There it comes on. As you're doing this, don't expect just to walk up and say, oh, let's adjust it. It's compensated. It's great. This is going to take you probably a good hour or so. I would suggest totally letting the thing cool down to as cool as it's going to get. Get yourself an external reference point. Put it inside that mass that you're trying to actually measure the temperature of. And I'm doing it in actually the actual ice tray. So, then wait. Wait, set, adjust, check. Wait, set, adjust, check. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. One more look at my Alpicool fan. Turn it off. Max size is a little bit crazy. Oh yeah.